Greetings and welcome to the 1-6 Scale Man proudly presents another. Well, actually, no, this is the first official episode of you know what it is. This is Halloween or horror talk with friends. And so what we decided to do with this is just like basically have a complete horror show, something more so dedicated towards just a horror theme. Just talking about some of the films that inspired our well, we have our horrorthons over there at Vinny's house. We always talk about the horrorthon. We talk about basically just the venue itself, like just the atmosphere, but pick his brain on why he selects these particular films. What are important about these actual films? And the thing is, when you go into it, I remember going into like the first horrorthon, not really realizing that there was a method to the madness. Horrorthon isn't like your typical horror films. It wasn't like I was going to go in and watch like your just typical Fright Night, the Fog, any type of Jason, film or Friday the 13th, Psycho, any of those Lost. But no, it wasn't your typical theme. It wasn't like you were basically going in to see those films. With the horrorthon, it was something completely different. And it just took off every year. It's something to definitely look forward to. And the fucked up part about it is motherfucker has the nerve to have food during this stuff. It is, you can see some of the most grotesque films, yet he'll still have food. Like he'll still definitely have food ready there for you. So definitely this is going to be a fun one, a fun discussion that we're going to jump into and talk about here. But before we do, just going to get some house cleaning out the way. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you're always up to date as to what we got going on over here on the channel. And again, we got the Halloween initiative that's actually floating around right now. Started August 26th, ends tomorrow, which is my birthday, October 25th. All proceeds, super chats that we actually get goes towards making sure that kids have costumes, candy for the holiday season. So thank you very much for all your generous donations. And even if you don't, get out there in your community, make sure you actually donate. I'm not here by myself, of course. We got Vinny in the building, man. What's going on with you, bro?
Greetings, salutations. I love that spooky ass intro. It's very dope. Feel like I just walked in the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah. We had to do it, bro. I had to do it. I threw it together real quick because I was like, shit, we have a trailer for it. So I got to do something.
Love it.
Intro. Yeah,
perfect.
man. Good to have you here, bro. We're going to kind of pick your brain. I know everybody out there wants to pick your brain as well, man. So we're going to definitely jump into that, bro, because it makes sense. Who we got out there with us? We got Charlie, the unicorn in the building. Thank you for being here as always. Pedro Lopez is in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Thank you for the early happy birthday, man. It's tomorrow, but thank you very much for that. We got Renz Talentino. Amber May is in here. We got Timothy Harvey is in here with us, man. Thank you for being here. Valkyrie Magnus. We got comics in the building. What's going on with you, man? Thank you for being here as well, man. So we definitely got some things to talk about. Now, before we do, got to talk about where we get these figures from and all of our collectibles and comics and everything from. Starting with the one and only Ray over there at Underground Figures. If you were looking for the latest and greatest, he got it. He'll definitely take care of you. Again, with my guy, you sign up for the newsletter, so you are always up to date as to when your figure is going to arrive or when new figure is going to be released or revealed. Again, no NRD, shipping and handling is definitely reasonable. Email him, hit him up. He'll definitely respond in such a timely manner. Ray always takes care of us here in the community. So definitely want to give him a shout out. Also give a shout out to my man Ray over there at Hawk Wars Toys. I call him Hawk Wars Ray. If you are looking for it, he got it. Any type of grill piece, he got it. Comics, and he adds a sticker actually as well. Nice little care package. Got to give him a shout out because he always does what he needs to do to make sure that this community is in tip top. So definitely want to give him a shout out as well. Also got to give a shout out to my man, Watch Your Sixth over there, Comic Relief and Comic Collectibles, man, Jacob. Definitely sign up for that newsletter. Or not only you getting comics, you get 1 tip scale, 1 12 scale, anything you're looking for, he got it. He'll definitely take care of you. And last but not least, got to give a shout out to my man's Brian Wong over there at Mod Case Modu Space. If you're looking for an incredible display, he will definitely take care of you. Probably like 85% of everybody out there has a display case from Brian Wong. So definitely want to give him a super duper shout out, man. So definitely, let's see who else we got. We got Paul Morales in here. Thank you for being here, brother. As always, Malika Mabane, thank you for being in the building, man. Pedro Lopez, thank you for being here as well, man. So we definitely got a live one. So Vinny, yeah, man, like I said, I wanted to do this. I hit you up, was like, yo, let's just, have like a horror theme, have like a horror conversation. So tell the people out there, bro, like when initially you started and you said that you wanted to just say, hey, I want to do a horrorthon with friends. How did that whole thing even, how did that formulate? What started that whole sequence of wanting to do something like this, bro?
Yeah, this started like years and years and years ago, like in my in my 20s when I first got my first apartment. I would have I had a surround sound, and it was I would have family over, friends over, and my nephew, well, my cousin's son, I call him my nephew, but I've always, as he's been growing up, always put him on to just everything that I'm into: pop culture, geek culture, comics, video games, movies, etc., and he hadn't seen very many horror films. So, so I put him on to a few, and then I was like, actually, you know what? Let's have a horrorthon, and we just do a party. Had like pizza, just had his brother over too, and we just watched a bunch of horror movies. Like at that time, it was more a little bit more mainstream films in the selection. Like that one had like Christine. It had some Stephen King type vibes. And I think one of the first ones we also had I See the Devil. And there was a few like a Korean and I think High Tension might have been in that first soiree of horror films, but it was amazing. We had a lot of fun, and then I just did it every year. Like every year, we would just have a selection of more and more, and then I'd have more and more friends come over, and we just like do a screening. But at that time, I was living in an apartment. But then when I moved here to this house, I had more freedom to be louder. So I got a subwoofer, and I upgraded my surround sound, and everything here just sounded so amazing. Incredible acoustics, like as you know, like when the sub is rocking, like the walls are like shaking shit off the walls. Like it just, everything sounds so great. And that is obviously there's many films that make that a more enjoyable experience, but when it comes to horror films, it just increases the anxiety and feeling of the submersion.
And your ass live in the woods, bro. Like you literally live like you're like it's like
I'm
a
in the
wooded
city,
area, bro.
but I'm in a very rare part of the city that plow down and filled with houses. It's like it's in a rare cut where it's commercial zone and they haven't put in a ton of houses yet. So like I'm literally like a block from the highway and other apartment complexes and highway exits and gas stations, but like where I'm at is it feels like the woods. So it's like a little pocket of woods in the city. So it's a perfect spot for being loud and like submersion, because it definitely feels like you're still in a horror movie when you leave my house after a horrorthon, which I've heard from many people like after they leave, and it's like, man, fuck this. Like now we got to go home.
Now we got to get out and go home, bro. That time that we had that horrorthon at your crib, that time we came out the house, it was cold and it was a deer.
Yeah.
And I think that was right after we watched Hereditary, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, man, fuck this, bro. Like I had to watch that terrible movie. That I mean, it not terrible in a bad. Like I mean, I'm talking about it was good, but it was horrifically good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, bro. Watching that film, come on, bro. Like it just. I thought it couldn't get any worse, bro. I was like, it can't get any worse until this.
Yeah.
Bro. So
yeah, that was heavy.
Okay. The process of getting these films. So take everybody. Okay, so let me kind of set the tone. So everybody out there, you go to Vinny's house. There's plenty, seats, everybody, all friends and stuff like that. So you're not prepared. So when you see these films, it's like, okay, when did he find time to watch these films? Does he watch these films by himself? I know he doesn't do it now. But before, even Amber, bro, like you were in that house, bro. Like, how and why did you sit in that house by yourself and you just desensitize yourself to watch these fucking films
Mm-hmm.
and just really get through them? So you just like say, all right, I'm just gonna find the most obscure, horrifically horrible film.
Yeah, ironically, I wasn't a big horror fan growing up. Like I thought horror movies were cool, and I wasn't scared of them. I wasn't really ever scared of horror movies, but I wasn't a big fan of like blood and gore. Like I don't like seeing people bleed, and I didn't like that when I'm talking when I was like 9, 10, and my like cousins were watching it, and I was just like not trying. I wasn't a part of it, and I just never like went back to it for a while until I was like in my late teens, and I seen I don't know something, and it just sent me down a rabbit hole. And I think in the '90s I got Netflix, and that was when they were sending you discs,
Yeah.
and I just watched as many fucking horror films as I could, and I just couldn't get enough. I just loved them, and and then I've seen. I think the movie that kind of like turned the tables for me was High Tension. High Tension was a
Mm.
French horror film, and it was like when you watch a horror movie in America, it's very similar format and rules. And by rules, I mean like what you can get away with showing, what you can get away with not showing, what is off limits. Like you watch a foreign horror film, like a Korean film or a French film, and there's no rules. Like it's kind of like how if you watch a movie and when they don't cut away when someone gets shot or stabbed or whatever, it's like, oh, okay, they're not playing. But like when it comes to a kid, they ain't gonna show a kid get killed or anything that's like sensitive subject. But they don't have those reservations over there. It's just like it doesn't matter. So I watched that and it was violent, it was dramatic, it was well shot. I love the sounds, I love everything about it, and I love the shock value of it. And I felt like, all right, what else? What else y'all got? And then I would start looking for other films like that. And what I would do is I would start to kind of like have a screening process all year, and I would use the internet, like because obviously growing up we didn't have the internet, so you just kind of had to go by word of mouth and like recommendations for films, and just blindly rent shit at Blockbuster. And you usually got trash and you didn't know what to get, but like I would go on forums and say like, okay, what is like High Tension, and then people would recommend shit that was all over the place, foreign films like that, and then I would just go to Netflix and then rent them, and then again and again. And then I kind of do the same thing now. It's just obviously with social media and Reddit, and like you can much easier my boy John in here, like he always, it's funny too because I'll post what we're watching on Facebook as the horrorthon is going, and I have friends who like don't live here or live out of state or they can't make it, and they'll watch along. They'll go find them on streaming sites and then just watch along with it. So it's become like a fun, like kind of big thing where like a lot of people like join in and stuff. So it's awesome. But all year, yeah, that's what I'll do. I will screen flicks, and as you know, like if I'm like watching the trailer and I know I want to see it, I'll just stop. If I know I don't want to see it, I'll just stop. I'll rent a movie and I'll be half an hour into it and I'll be like, this isn't horrorthon worthy, and I'll just stop watching it because I know, because if it takes like an hour, like I might like it,
Mhm.
but or I'll watch it if I think it's good. But I'll tell everybody this won't make the cut, but it's pretty good. Just go ahead, watch it. But it's not horrorthon.
Mhm.
So like, and there's a whole bunch of things. There's a whole criteria I have of what will and won't make a horrorthon film. Like it has to have a decent plot. It has to be exciting enough to grab your attention. When there isn't killing and action going on, the film has to hold your attention enough. Like I want it to be a fun film for everyone. And there's films that I've seen that if the ending is really trash or it just goes off the rails, like Autopsy of Jane Doe, perfect example. That film, I sat there watching it like this is the main event horrorthon whole way through. About half an hour before it's over, it's like the director said, "Tag, I'm out, you're in," and it just went.
And it changed the entire thing.
Yo, the whole shit was so cerebral, so intelligent, so original. I never seen a fucking horror film like Autopsy of Jane Doe until 90 minutes in, and it just it just went, what the fuck is this now? And it went like super safe, and like it was like a whole nother type of film. And I was like, all right, damn. And so I would tell people about it, like, watch it, this is good, but for damn sure ain't making Horrorthon, because I want everybody to have a good time. I don't want everybody to be pissed off because they were into it and then the movie sucked.
The ending was, I was so mad, bro.
It was like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Why y'all doing all this goofy horror shit?
But you set it up to be so good, bro.
It was so original, creative. Like you had all this, like you had such a dope premise, and it was just like they weren't. They were like, yeah, but we got to have this if it's a horror movie. And it's like, no, you don't. Foreign films, that's something that they would not have switched up. Foreign films don't care. It's almost like when foreign films are made, there's no suits telling them, oh, it has to have these tropes in order to make it, you know. Anyway, so I will watch films all year. People recommend me films. And then, so I try to avoid anything that's like mainstream or popular. Like I won't show you like a Evil Dead or a Saw film or anything that you probably would have already seen or be on your radar.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check out like I try to show like obscure films that are on like Shudder or dark web, deep cut films that just nobody knows about, but that are good, like that should be talked about. And all year I'll just keep track, and I'll just try to come up with as many great ones as possible. And then then what I'll do is I'll try to also have a different varying of subgenres, because there's slashers, there's home invasion films, there's paranormal films, and there is psychological. And I will try most years to have at least like 3 of those genres and show at least like 3 films. So you're not going to see like 3 Titane is like, you're not going to see 3 movies like that back to back. You're not going to see you're not going to see 3 Hereditaries, and you're not going to see 3 movies like The Sadness. Like you're not going to see 3 of those in a row. I try to break it up and have it be something that's like, all right, this film did this film did this film did this, so you feel like you're showing different things. Like if I found throughout the year 2 really amazing werewolf films, like I wouldn't show them both. I would just show one of them. Like I wouldn't want to, beat anything into the ground. So I try to make the genres subverse too, so that way you feel like you're watching different things and getting different experiences going into it. So like every box like that needs to be checked. And then I also pick like, okay, well, which one is most likely to be people's favorite? And I try to put that at the end. And if the last movie at the end is maybe a more scarier movie, I might try to put that at the end, even if there's a movie that's like a better, but it's not as like scary, I might try to put that in the middle. So I try to plan the beginning, middle, and end, so that way it's keeping everybody's attention the whole way through, and everybody's like, well paced, so that's well paced, and everybody like has plenty to say about it. And the very interesting thing is, virtually every year, no matter how many people are in attendance, it feels like one of the films is someone's favorite. Like I don't think that we've ever had a year where everybody was like, oh, we only like this film, or this was the only dope film. Like it's so often, and then a lot of times it surprises me. Like I really think this one is the best one, but I don't know if everybody's gonna fuck with it. I think everybody's gonna like this one, and sometimes it's flipped. But almost every year, it's like all over the place over what was people's favorite, which is great, because that's part of the point, to spread out the diversity of what type of films that I'm showing.
Bro, so I'll pull up this one because, like I said, I'm just pulling up just the films that I know we've watched, the films that we have on the list. But for those who don't really, okay, so this movie's Titane, and for me to really explain to you guys out there what this movie's about, it is so. When I say obscure, it is obscure. Vinny, the condensed way of explaining people. I mean, I came in, bro.
Yeah, I think you came into this in the middle. Like, what the fuck?
She was having sex with a car, bro.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I was like, yo, I can't believe what I'm watching. But then as you watch it, it starts to make sense because there are people really out there like her. It's just that they took the horror route of this particular film. Give people the condensed idea and the reason why they should watch. Give people a condensed idea about this particular film, bro.
Many people shouldn't watch this because it's really because it's one of the most polarizing films that I've ever shown. Like, I've never had a film that was fucked up that people were mad that they watched because it was so off-putting to them. Like, a lot of psychological horrors or fucked up films, people are like, man, that was so fucked up. Like, what the fuck, Vinny? But they actually but they enjoyed it. I think this one bothered a lot of people on like some kind of deep level of.
Look at Lewis said, sorry, I own this film.
So it's basically it's a very disturbing, and that's kind of like the theme with a lot of my picks, but it's a disturbing psychological horror that's not necessarily like a jump scare scary horror. It's a body horror film. And a body horror film is another like subgenre of films. It's basically a body horror film with a very bizarre premise and concept of like kind of the delving into sexuality and machinery and just it's very hard to describe. It's one of the most bizarre films that I've ever seen, and sometimes that means that okay, well now y'all have to watch this too.
Bro, because the funny part about this fucking movie, bro, everybody had the same reaction when watching it, but knowing that you watched it, you were sitting over there in your favorite seat. You were sitting over to your seat like this.
It's one of my favorite parts of Horrorthon.
And just to look to see, so you sit in the back, this is see, and everybody's, and I'm sitting there like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Like
definitely was. I mean, and that is what to me. Everybody who doesn't like it still sat there through most of the film in shock. To me, that is like, I have films that when I finished, I didn't like it, but I'm glad I watched it. And I feel like at worst, this is what the fuck? I didn't like that, but I'm glad I watched it. Like to me, like that's at worst, that's what it is. And at best, it's a brilliantly, the color palette, and this is, that's the other thing. It's not just if it's scary or not just if it's fucked up film, but I love the filmmaking of a lot of these films too. They have to actually like be good films. Like this film has beautiful color palette, beautiful cinematography. The music in it is incredible. The pacing is great, and there's so many bleeding yellows and blues and chromes in this that it's just visually stunning. So there's so
it was
much,
like an art house type of horror film. That's what it was.
and that's what a lot of the films I pick are like. A lot of them are art house. A lot of them are not like corporate blockbuster popcorn films. That's not. I like I mean, some of those are great too, but that's not likely what you'll see at a horrorthon. No.
Yeah. Now this one right here had to be literally one of my favorites, bro. Like, The Dark and the Wicked it's not what I appreciated about it, bro, it was a psychologically, supernatural, but light on the jump scare.
Yeah.
It's not the jump scare, it's the long frames.
Mm-hmm.
It's the panning in a long frame where she's there and they'll pan into something that's right there.
Yeah. Yep.
And you're like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
bro, it is like, remember, like, what was it? What was it? 40-year-old version where dude was like, bitch, get out of the room, get out of the room.
Yeah.
That's what you feel like the entire time. But it was just the simple fact that such a tormented individual, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love this film, bro. This was probably the film. Well, you already know what film sits with me till it haunts me till this day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still can't believe you showed us that shit. And now and then to find out that it was just an actual film, and then they followed that shit up with, what was it? Summer. What was it?
Summer.
Yeah.
I wish that was as good, but yes.
Nah, it wasn't as good, but yeah. This one right here was definitely one of the dopest picks, bro. I love it.
Dark and the Wicked. This is a Brian Bertino film, in 2020. All right, so I know, like, after you get to Horrorthon, like, I've seen most of these, so it seems like I'm unfazed. And this is one of the this is one of the films that I literally, like, had hair stand up back of my neck, like goosebumps, because we're watching it a lot of times in, like, a group of people, and it's not lights on, but I mean, it is very different when you're watching a film alone in the dark, and that's how I watch all these films. So sometimes it doesn't translate as well if you're watching it with a group or party, to be as scary as it was when you're watching it alone. But I try to set that mood and, like, have everybody be quiet, try to everything be dark, and try to, share that with everybody, because when I watched this the first time, it sat with me. And sometimes I'll finish a horror film and I'll be like, yo, that was great. And then I'm just going on about whatever fuck else I was doing. But that sat with me because this film, it hits on a very personal level of family and sickness and loss and hopelessness. And this film is beautifully shot, beautiful sound, editing. But there is this bone-chilling dread and intensity that fills the entire film. And the weird thing is, it is a relatively slow burn, but the way it's shot, it doesn't really feel like it, because you feel like you are, as Amber said, like you're holding your breath, like you don't know what the fuck is going to happen for damn near 2 hours. It is relentlessly intense. It doesn't mean that there's not nonstop jump scares or like shit happen, but when shit isn't happening, you're scared. It's very bizarre, because usually it's like
it's the moments when nothing is happening at all. Because in your mind, you're like, no, this is too good to be true.
Because there's a lot of horror films where, like, in between the scary part, it's like, it's a group of campers and teenagers, and they're either having sex or making fun of stuff, or there's buddies joking around, like, and then that's the that's the duality of the film. Like, oh, it takes you from this to this. There's no, like, light moment. You're in darkness and dread the whole way through. So it never really lets you catch your breath and say, okay, all right, things are okay now. Let me wait for the scary music, and then I know we're back into the shit. No, you never know when it's about to be something horrific happen again, because you are sad and scared and in dread for the duration of the film. And to me, it's just a great artistic choice, because it takes away that predictability of what you're getting into. Because most films, it's like, okay, now we're about to get, you hear, it goes from the lightheartedness to the darkness, and you hear the music, and so like Jason's coming when you hear the music, but this doesn't give you those cues. You're just always stuck in the dread. So it's just uncomfortable. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's so brilliant and beautiful for all those reasons. It's a really, really fucking gut punch of a film. It's one of my favorite horror films of all time, and unfortunately, for all those reasons, it's not for everyone, because there's some people who find that like boring, because it's not like tons of jump scares every 5 seconds. It's not a bunch of teenagers like laughing, and like it's not upbeat. It's morose.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very. I consider it a must watch for any horror fan. Like if you're even somewhat a fan of the genre, highly recommend watching this film.
Yeah, because sometimes you find yourself like empathizing with her, but then sometimes you're just like, yo, do you not see what is happening? Or then when people around her are thinking that she's, this film definitely sat deep that day. It was like, yeah, come on, man, like I gotta go outside. I do gotta get in my car and go home, bro. It's one of those you don't want to look in your rear view mirror type of film.
It crawls under your skin. It sticks with you.
It definitely does. Now, this one, bro. Yeah, the sadness, bro.
This is the opposite.
Yeah.
This is one where it's like a party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so this is a Taiwanese zombie film, and this is just, oh man, it's obviously, for those who don't, many of us, even if you're not into horror, know that Asians have a very bizarre and wild sense of humor, and a sense of derangement and creativity. And this is just a nonstop crazy film. So it's basically a zombie film set in Taiwanese setting, and it's man, there is one or two like antagonist zombies that are like torturing our protagonists and
fucking them up, like literally
constantly on the chase. Everywhere they go, that they think they're safe, they are
found.
They have to get away again, and the zombies have like a somewhat brain capacity to actually like chase you specifically. Like it's not just mindless zombies. Like they have a personality, and they have
an agenda.
They have an agenda, and it has so many fucked up scenes in it. There's a defamation scene that I won't get into. That is one of the staples of when people remember or will walk away with this film that they will never let go.
Bruh.
And it's something that I never thought that I would see
on camera or in a film.
It's just
it's
so it's basically like 2 hours of what the fuck? No, they didn't. What the fuck is ridiculously gory. It's the whole. Just imagine like the whole film is just every single scene is just red everywhere, just death and brutal.
People getting torn apart.
People getting torn apart. People getting eaten. People getting defiled, and people getting adult things are happening that you don't want to show this one to your kids who play Call of Duty Zombies because you think it's no big deal. Don't show this to them. It's a very fucked up film. This one is by Mr. Rob Jabaz, and in 2021, and there's not much plot to this. It's basically just a survival zombie film where our two protagonists are a couple that were separated during the outbreak, and they're trying to get back to each other, and it shows what both are going through dealing with the outbreak, and it's just so fucked up in every way imaginable, and it's just a horrible film that I
Yeah.
love.
He said it's a horrible film that he loves. We got a $5 super chat by my man Thrawn's office. He said, for the little terrifiers out there, man, thank you so much for that, bro. I definitely appreciate that so much. This movie, it like, it's one of those things where when you first watch and when you first start watching, it's like, all right, I don't know if I want to continue watching it. Like, it's like, because when you think about it, it sounds like, and it looks like in the first couple frames, your typical zombie. No, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a totally different. They have these fucking zombies smiling at you and laughing at you while they're trying to kill you, bro.
Yep.
I have never seen shit like that. That's more terrifying than the mindless ones. And these motherfuckers are fast.
And seeing most zombie portrayals are like Walking Dead, where they're slow as molasses, and they're very few like World War Z type zombies where they're fast, and even fewer where they show cognitive retention. I mean, they're not as smart as they were, but like they're aware. They have a conscience, and they're they have agendas and they have motives, and that makes them much more scarier than zombies that you could just kind of like sidestep and run around and then just be free, like in Walking Dead, like where unless there's hundreds and you're pinned, you'll be fine as long as you just have somewhere to run to. But this is definitely a fun fucked up film, and more like lightheartedness, because the violence is so over the top that you never really feel like scared or anything like that. This is just a fun fucked up film, but it's there's no real dread because it's just so silly, it's so over the top. It's not goofy, there's not trying to be, but it's but there's a sense of humor to it because it's so non-stop, just blood and orgy and guts and
yeah yeah bro. Brings us to this one. Now this one, you said this was like one of the earlier on,
yes,
and which I think that one of the horrorthons, bro, you should bring this back up, you know what I mean, for a lot of us who probably hadn't seen it. You should reintroduce it, bro.
Remember you asked. Chat the day after Horrorthon, when Leo comes on here and says, "This motherfucker showed me."
Yep.
I tried to warn him. I even put it on, on this list for a reason.
Yeah.
This was one of the first. Like I said, this was High Tension brought me to this, and it showed me like how it was another reminder of just how fucked up they are in France and other countries where they don't have I don't know, they just
no restrictions. No restrictions, bro.
This film is, from a filmmaking standpoint, it is brilliant because it's almost generalist, or the opposite of that, because horror typically has subgenres that they're confined to, like Jason is a slasher, Saw is torture porn, and Funny Games is home invasion, and Titane is psychological horror. This is all of them all in one. Mm-hmm. So it starts off as your quintessential paranormal horror film, with monsters, and it's scary, and it's just fantastic, and it's great jump scares, and it's absolutely scary as hell. And then at some point it transitions to a psychological horror, and then it segues into torture porn, and then it becomes like a mindfuck flick, and in there's slivers of home invasion type porn, there's slivers of slasher type porn. It is absolutely, it's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. This is French horror by Pascal Laguerre. This came out in 2008 for Louis. I'm not sure exactly what year the original Mars came out, if there's another one besides this one.
I think this is the one here.
I do think I have heard of another Martyrs, but this is the one. Well, if you're looking it up, they both had the two girls in it. And
So is
both,
this the same one?
it might be the same film. I'm not
Okay.
familiar with all the different poster art for it,
They
but
might have had different
2008 one,
interpretations. Yeah.
yeah, the 2008 one. If you're unfamiliar with
This
it,
is the 2008. This is the one right here.
then that's the one.
That's the one. Yep.
Yep. Not 15. 15 would be too recent.
Yeah.
15 would be too recent. I'm almost positive this is an older film, relatively older film. But there is so much going on in this, and I couldn't love it more. It's one of the first. Definitely not the 2015 one. If they remade it, God help them, because there's no way they topped it. It's no way at all. The beginning is phenomenal. The middle is fucked up, and the ending is a conceptually genius ending that is abstract and outside the box. And I always love a horror film that is like doesn't have a typical or predictable finale, and the ending of it makes you go back and think about so many different things, and it just makes you think on a subliminal and retrospective level of the different decisions and the different feelings that you had throughout the film, because it ties in with religion, with perseverance, with self-preservation, and it does all these things to tie into the actual namesake, the title Martyrs, and what the goal of the final villain of the film was.
Mhm.
And so it does all these things horror wise, and then it does these things cerebral, on a cerebral level, and it along the way it's fantastically shot, fantastic sound, tremendous pacing, and intense as hell the whole way through, and it's scary as fuck halfway through, and then in the finale it just has you asking questions, answering them for yourself. It's a special to me, because there's a lot of concepts in horror films that action films and dramas don't get to tackle, that horror films open you up to, because they deal with these paranormal and religious things. And so many times your dramas, your comedies, your action films, like they're just trying to entertain you with visual action or whatever, and horror films have this like pass to also make you question all these other things. And when you do it right, it's really special. So Martyrs was that for me. It was so much more than a horror film. Absolutely, positively, check it out. It's not for squeamish. There's some scenes in there that are very disturbing and fucked up, but it's a masterpiece.
See, fucked up for you, bro. It's a difference. It's the difference. There's a major difference, bro. It's definitely a major difference. Fucked up for you is a major difference, because your reactions to shit that's fucked up isn't my reaction to shit that's fucked up, or anybody else's shit reaction in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
It's not.
No. But yeah. So that's why I said, just remember, you asked this,
bro. But it's like, bro, you order pizza, you have cookies, chips, everything's in the room. Everybody's like, he's like, everybody, like after a film, we would see one of the most horrific films, and everybody's sitting there like, you can see it literally disturbed. Vinny would stop the movie and be like, all right, did y'all want to go get some pizza, cookies, and stuff like that before the next film? I'm like, bro, what? Like literally, bro. Like, yeah.
There is, but that's to recover. You gotta get some sustenance, so that way you can handle what you got coming next, because there's a lot of times where it's just like, all right, if you sit with this too long right now, you're not going to start the next film. You're going to get in your head about it. It's like, nah, you got to just get back in the game, put in that mouthpiece, and let's go to work.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, it is. Anyway, we got this next film at Toreros. This is Terrified.
Yes.
For people who don't know. Yo. Yeah. I don't know where you get these films from, bro. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
This is not to be confused with Terrifier. That's something totally different.
This is Terrified.
Terrified was one of the films that I got Shudder for because I heard about it. It was on Shudder. And Shudder is like a Netflix, but for all horror films that you can get through Amazon for anyone that doesn't know. But Terrified is a Argentine film by Damien Rugna, and it is one of the
Yes. I told you, yeah, the funniest part is, bro, we'll get to it. We'll get to the most fucked up part of the film, and you know what everybody's reaction is. They're gonna look at you, and then you like this. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's one of my favorite parts of it. Just watching everybody, because I swear, yo, it'd be the funniest shit. Like everybody be just watching the shit, and they turn around to me like,
yeah, like what the
fuck?
Yeah, bro.
We watching.
We got P-Rock here. He said Shudder is a horror fan's crack.
Bro, it's there's so much shit on there. It's great. I mean, it's just you forget just how many horror films that like justify having a subscription to it, because it's countless. So many of them. So Terrified is I love recommending Terrified to people because of the open, because it's one of those films where like you don't gotta wait, half an hour, 45 minutes till after you've had all the, the characters introduced to you, till, like a lot of horror films, they got to move into the house and it takes them like a few weeks before a chair moves or some bullshit. And then it's like, okay, now we're getting to the horror part of this horror film. Terrified, like opens the door, punches you in the mouth out the gate. Like as soon as the fucking film starts, you just hear this thump, thump. And again, surround sound, the experience helps a lot of these films just even be more scarier than they would be. It shakes the whole fucking house, and it's just like, yo, what the hell? So this film has this beautiful cold open of what is going on in this house / town, and the open is just, it's fucked up. It's terrifying. It's scary as shit, and then it just keeps going and going and going.
Bro,
see, the kid I seen in the trailer, and again, like if I want to see something, I don't watch the trailers, but if I have to be sold on something, I'll watch the trailer until I'm sold. So like I think when I watched the trailer for this, I maybe got like 40 seconds in, I seen the kid and I was like, that's creepy as shit, and then I killed it. And so if anything else was good that was in the trailer I didn't see, I just stopped at the kid, because the kid sold me on the film, and the kid was one of the least scary things in the film. The kid was scary, but it was one of the least scary things in the film. Everything else blew that out of the water, which makes a beautiful trailer. Like it shows you something scary, but it's just a teaser. The rest of the film shows you like way better stuff. But yes, that was a dead kid sitting there that had already been buried, and you walk in the dining room and he's just sitting there with some cookies and some milk, and and he's not moving, he's just sitting there, and you're like, what the fuck? And then he does move, but he's not like animated moving, he just flinches, and it's just like, all right,
like ticks, like down. Little ticks,
please, we gotta go.
Yeah, we out.
So there's so many like creative horror decisions throughout the film. it makes you on edge the whole film because um, they don't set it up and and foreshadow it very well. So there'll be a dark spot in a room or in a cabinet or behind a curtain or whatever, and then there'll be something there, and then it has you watching the whole movie going, all right, where they at?
Yeah, yeah,
Where they at?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so this is, they do even simple, very very common stupid tropes tremendously well, just like something being under your bed. The way they do it is just
Mm-hmm.
fucking scary as shit, and it's just so well shot. The sound, again, the sound editing is phenomenal. The darkness, it doesn't feel like it's too dark to see what's going on, but it doesn't feel too bright. It doesn't, everything is grimy, everything is grainy. It's just I don't know. And then to me, again, it's another foreign film, and there's just something about the unfamiliarity of another place,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know how these people deal with situations. You don't know what the cops are like there. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
what the neighborhoods are like there. Like if you see a town, you don't know like where would be the closest place for safety. So there's all those uncertainties that go into a film like this that, I mean, because a lot of the foreign films, they have this just like unspoken inherent dread just from, you are already outside of your comfort zone because you don't know where they're at. So it just adds to all that. It's it's just, there's great jump scares, but it doesn't just solely rely on them. And there's it's one of my favorites. It's definitely one I love recommending because it grabs you by the balls from like from the jump.
Bruh, all I needed to see was that damn kid.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that's all I needed to see, bro. Like was the damn kid. Like everybody out there, okay, so I need y'all to sit with me here for a second because you got to understand that my first time going to a horrorthon at Vinny's house, I was probably like most of you out there. Oh, we just gonna go back and just rehash a lot of, old films that we truly love. Vinny didn't tell me we weren't going to do that at first. I guess he just wanted everybody to be surprised. The majority of us are those, or at least me. I was probably one of the only individuals that was expecting to see some shit that, I mean, I'm used to. That was the expectation. And I sat in the room and one of the first one, no. The last film we saw was Hereditary.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah. I don't know what. And here's the thing: is Hereditary was a film, a mainstream type of whatever, but it was still an art house art house film.
Very rare mainstream film that I
and
showed.
It was fucking horrifying, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still have, but it also makes you mad at the mom because I'm like, yo, who lets their look? And I don't know if, first of all, anybody out there in the chat who's seen Hereditary, let us know, because that movie, yeah, nah, man, nah. I don't care how many times I see it, I can't watch it. He's a good friend. He pulls out some hard heavyweights for his friends. Yeah.
I do my best.
Yeah. Some of the ones that are the most unexpectedly, just phenomenally crazy fucking films, he pulls out of the woodworks, and I'm just like, yo, I can't believe that my dumb ass actually watched it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. I can't, and I don't know how Amber. So do you basically do you now make her watching with you before Horrorthon, bro?
There's some that she watches with me, and then there's some that I'll watch later on my own. Like if I think it's going to be if I don't think it's gonna be good, I'll probably not watch it with her so that she's not into it when I wanted to stop. I'm like, all right, this isn't any good. I'm gonna skip to another one because I'm trying. Like I go through a lot of films throughout a year, like screening to try to narrow the shit down. And sometimes I'm like, like sometimes I know it's not going to be good. I know it's not going anywhere. It's just like I'll go back and watch this later. I'm not trying, or I'll skip to the end. Like I treat it like it's just a game, and I just all right. Let me know who wins. Like it's not that serious. I know I'm not going to like it. I know it's not going to be horrorthon worthy. And if I think it's going to be one of those, I'll watch it without her, so that way I'm not stuck watching it because she wants to see it the whole way through. But for the most part, though, yeah, she'll now like watch some of them with me the whole way through. Like she's seen most of the ones we did this year, except for like one. And yeah, because that way if she has to do something else, she's seen them. But sometimes I'll watch a bunch and go through, and then if she's tired, I'll just keep going because the later you watch them, the better they are anyway. So I'll watch a couple overnight. Yep.
So yeah, he'll send me to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I saw Hereditary, enjoyed it very much. I can't look at a telephone pole the same, bro. Right?
Yeah.
That is my point. I cannot look at a telephone pole the same way.
Yeah.
The same damn way, and it was all the mom's fault, bro.
Hereditary was so frustrating for me because I seen it in the theater on the week it came out, and it reaffirmed like I hate seeing horror films in theaters, which sucks because I want to go support them. But when you go see a horror film in the theaters, it's always a bunch of kids, and they don't want to seem too cool. They're too cool to be scared, so they got to make jokes through it and laugh. Oh, he's in the room. Oh, she's behind the curtain. Blah blah blah. And then everyone's laughing. Yo, in Hereditary, when she's flying off the ceiling, all these kids are just laughing and like, oh, this is so stupid. And then afterwards, the group of them were talking, and I came out because I went and seen that one dolo. And then the one guy was like, "Can you believe how stupid that was?" And I was like, "It was brilliant. When you get older, you'll understand."
You'll understand it.
Literally what I told him. I was like, "It's brilliant. Give it time. When you're a little older, you'll understand." Because these were like 20-year-old kids, and you're watching it in a group with your friends. And when you're 20, you have to be funny and you have to always be joking. It's like you gotta show out and clown with your friends. I get it. Like I was a kid once too. I get it. But like when he gets older, and that's the funny thing is, I feel like this one became like a cult hit. Hereditary, I don't think did like tremendously well in the theaters. It was after the fact. That's why I was so comfortable showing it at Horrorthon, because none of us had seen it. No one had seen it but me. And no one really thought like it was good. Like no one had heard anything good about it. And I'm like, I got you,
bro.
Check this out. And
it was me.
It was phenomenal. It was absolutely brilliant.
And I think the scary fucking part is how fast the mom was chasing him, bro.
Yes. And it had brilliant acting in it too.
Yeah,
yo, Toni Collette should have won an Oscar for that joint. You can't win an Oscar for a horror film, but and you sit there with that fucking face on your face, like every parent knows that fucking feeling.
Yeah,
like, I'm mad. You just staring at me, like,
and you're just looking at me.
Something you just doing that blank stare when you getting yelled at, like,
yeah. And you empathize with the dad because he's trying to keep everybody together, bro.
That poor fucking dad, like he just wanted everybody to chill the fuck out so he can read his paper. Like he just wants everybody to be cool.
Fucking piano wire, bro. Fuck.
Yep.
Bro, just in the sound. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, man. Like literally.
And again, plus it had a plot too. Like, yo, that story was heavy.
Yeah,
it wanted the son.
And you didn't realize that the town was in on it, bro.
Yeah, it's man, it's such a brilliant. It fucked up Midsummer for me because I expected it to ramp up to that, and it didn't. Yes,
no, it's exactly, bro. The shot. He didn't go home and tell nobody. He was so fucking shocked. He just got out the car, went upstairs, and went to sleep.
Yeah.
Because he literally I think that was the brilliant part of it, bro, because that exemplifies the moment of shock that a person goes through that you are so shocked that the body just shuts completely down and you're doing something that you would never think. And the only thing you can wake up to is your mom screaming the next morning.
Which is why I love horror films. Don't always love watching horror films with other people, because other
Yeah.
people react to the actions of the people in the film from a comfortable chair with some popcorn, and they get to judge what all these people would do because they're not in that situation.
Yeah.
You are given all the information that you need to make a smart decision there in that moment. So you are watching the alien or the murderer go hide in the closet, and then when they go in the room to hide, it's like, you stupid idiot, like, they're in the closet. Yo,
Yeah.
people in these movies are so dumb. Yeah, you just watch them go and hide in the closet. Like, you know that you're watching all the different angles. You know everything that's going on. You know that there's actually a monster. A real person in regular life isn't going to think something falling downstairs is a monster. They might think it's their fucking cat. They might think it's a mouse. They might think it's fucking a burglar. So everybody will yell at the screen like, "Oh no, I'm moving out." Like, no, the fuck you're not. You would go down and see what's wrong too. Like, what are you gonna do? Just like literally just pack your shit up and leave? No, you're not gonna move out. If you hear a fucking
You
lamp
have
walk,
no
you're
no
gonna see what's up.
details. You need concrete proof of what's going on, because you
Right.
don't, like, you can't make a conscious decision to do anything without really knowing. And I
Yeah.
think that's the human condition. Like, we always say, like, oh yeah, no, I'm running. No, at first reaction, like, if like, literally think about it this way. You live in a home that you've made feel it, it feels homely. It's something that you've designed based around your lifestyle. So you find out that there's some eerie things going on. You don't want to accept the simple fact that you got to move, because you got to move shit out or whatever. So
or if you are thinking that there's something happening, you might just think you're crazy. So what difference would it make if you move? If you're crazy at this address or another one. So, right? I mean, you could be crazy uptown too.
Yeah, bro, like, literally you gonna be, it's crazy as shit. And that's the point, bro. Like,
That's why I love this genre, because that there's so many different things that it's like, yeah, it's real easy to say, oh, I would
What
do
was
this,
the
I would do
one that we watched? I keep forgetting the name of it. The alien invasion. What was it called?
No one will save you.
No, yes. No one will save you,
No
bro.
one will save you is brilliant, because everything that she tries to, like, man, why don't you just run? Oh, all right. They were there. Okay. Why don't you just, oh shit. Yeah, never mind. Why don't you just, oh fuck. Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Bro,
No
no
one will
one
save you.
will save
No one
you.
will save you.
And here's the thing. The brilliant part is, everybody, I want y'all to know that the person Vinny is talking about right now was me, because it was a certain part was I was like, yo, fucking run. But then when you, like, literally, I'm just like, fucking run. But then you realize it's like, well, there's really nowhere she can go. There's really nowhere that she can go, because these things are going to keep coming. But I think the brilliant part about this film, bro, and what I loved about it was the end, of course.
Yes.
Once they came to terms, but there was little to no dialogue in this film.
They showed, not told.
They showed, not told, and you just base it off of the reactions that you got from the individuals in the films. To the point where, and this is how brilliant it was, bro, because it was to the point that none of us in the room that were watching this film realized that there wasn't any dialogue until like the third act.
Yeah.
We didn't think about it. I was like, wait a minute. Oh shit. She ain't said shit.
And there wasn't any best friend comic relief telling you all the rules, telling you what's going on. So that way you had to figure it out as she was figuring it out. And it was, I mean, from jump, it doesn't take but 5 minutes to realize what kind of film you're watching. Beautiful, intelligent protagonist. She was amazing. And again, this is a perfect you know, female lead that shows that you can have amazing female leads and it be phenomenal films, and it has nothing to do with her being female. She's just phenomenal. Like, this was such a great role, and she just killed it. You believed her all the way through. You were rooting for her all the way through. She was so likable. One of the most likable protagonists that you've ever seen. Like, she was just amazing in it. And the creatures, like, they were terrifying, just absolutely relentless, and she just had to fucking fight her ass off to survive again and again and again. It was incredible. I remember when I first watched this, them in the room, I was just like, the sound, the feel, the aura of it. It was just, oh my god! It was
because I remember when it first came on, bro. Like, I'm sitting there watching the film. You hear the music, you think it's like, okay, you see the neighborhood, and you're like, okay, but then you see how they treat her.
Mm-hmm.
Again, how she's looked at, how no one is acknowledging who she is, but you realize that there's a reason for it. You find out later on, and then it didn't take long for shit to happen. It just shifted gears, and it just happened like that.
Yep.
And then you're freaking out because, like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then you see the alien, but it's not a typical alien film.
Like, they don't fucking, like,
No.
at least you're like, wait, what? Why is, they could have easily like made that. They're like, just relax. This wasn't a TikTok film where they fucking hand you the whole film on a silver platter in 5 minutes. You had to watch it and digest it and like understand. Iceberg Slick, she was phenomenal in it, and definitely the hidden message, power of forgiveness, for sure. Louis, the aliens were brilliant character design, and you just felt like they were just creepy as shit, but at the same time, not necessarily malicious. Dockinator, no one will save you.
No one will save you, bro. No one will save you. And Dockinator, watch it by yourself.
Yeah.
Get the full impact. I watch it by yourself.
Yep.
Dockinator, this literally, I think this film made me realize why Horrorthon at Vinny's Crib is, it's like Christmas in October. You want to go every year because you don't. This fucking film was brilliant from beginning to fucking end.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you realize what happens in this town. It is brilliant, bro. It was brilliantly done. And I was saying to myself, bro, why didn't this make it here? Or why didn't we see it here? Like, you said that you had to find it, right? It was on, but then they pulled it. You had to find it and buy it, right?
Yeah, it was on streaming. And then like, I'll watch films throughout the year, and obviously I'll take note of what I want to be on Horrorthon. But then, like, before Horrorthon comes up, I'll queue everything back up and check audio and just like get it all ready. And then I couldn't find it. And now maybe it's back on since then, but it wasn't on streaming after I like went back to go check it out. And so I just bought the Blu-ray and it came from China. Like, there wasn't even Blu-ray distribution here. So it was obviously, luckily it was region free. So we were able to just watch it in English, but it was weirdly unavailable. So, but it's absolutely worth watching. It's one of, again, it was on Horrorthon, so it's obviously one of my favorite horror films of the year. It's just really, really special film.
No lights. I'm telling you,
I don't watch horror film. I never ever watch horror films during light. I always watch it dark. The living room is blacked out, so even if it's still daylight out, it's black in there. But I try to watch all horror films at night by myself if possible, with surround sound. Charlie asked earlier, and it's like, I have a receiver, and then I believe then one speakers on tower speakers on four corners, and then a big floor subwoofer, and it is absolutely, like, that's the only way to fucking to watch it. Yep. Gotta have new gems every year, no doubt. Like,
every year.
What's dope is, like, there's so every year, like, I'm like, all right, how am I gonna find some new shit this year, and it's like there's just always hidden gems out there. There's so much good stuff, but that's part of it. It's not just new horror films that come out. It's new obscure horror films that a lot of people haven't seen. So that's always my goal, to have some shit that just aren't on people's radar. That, I mean, because everybody can just go see Saw and like shit like that. That's not what horrorthon is about. Like, I don't like trying to do the mainstream stuff. There's rare exceptions like Hereditary and a couple others, but I try to make it, just the rare gems.
Bro, yeah, there's so much I can say about this film, but it because you had the different, like, you had the worker bees, you had the militant, but then you had the final boss in the end, and the final boss wasn't what you expected.
Mm-mm.
But was like, nah. You know what I mean? Like, nah. You was fucking with all them, but I had to do this shit myself. Type of, but she killed it, bro. Like, what else has she been in?
I didn't see, when I looked it up, I didn't see much else. I'm not sure.
Does anybody out there, is there's any other familiar roles that she's been in? Because, bro, seeing her in this, she, she's like another Spaney to me. You know what I mean? Like, she's brilliant, bro. Like, has she been in any other films?
Nothing that, like, she's been in other stuff, but let's see. There's a movie called Booksmart, a movie called Ticket.
Oh, Booksmart. Okay, that's the one that was directed by what's her name? Yeah, Booksmart. What was it? Who was that directed by? What's her name? She was in Trump. What's her name again? What is her name? Olivia Wilde.
Okay.
Olivia Wilde. That's who directed it. Olivia Wilde directed Booksmart. Yeah, she was Abby in Last of Us. Oh, she's about to be Abby in Last of Us.
That's what I was just saying.
That's gonna be dope. Okay.
You know what?
Brandon is on top of that. He's like, I'm a fan of her work.
You know what's funny? Because I heard of her being cast as Abby, and I think I seen a picture of her, and I was like, nah, what the fuck? Like, she ain't Diesel. And then I didn't put two and two together that I just seen her in this, because I just didn't. And then, but no one, after seeing this, I'm with it. We in good hands.
You with it?
Good hands.
Like, yeah, we definitely in good hands with this, man.
Yes. Yo, Iceberg. That's what's up. Dope Sick on Hulu. I totally forgot. I did know her from that too. Yep. I don't know why I did not remember that. All right, Dope Sick is this incredible show on Hulu, with whatchamacallit, the great Michael Keaton. And Michael Keaton is a doctor that was one of the doctors that was at the beginning of the OxyContin craze with pharmaceuticals. And the pharmaceutical drug companies, Big Pharma, was telling these doctors that OxyContin is non-addictive forming. And the whole show was about the pharmaceutical companies lying to the doctors and using salesmen to convince these doctors to give Oxy to their patients. And she was one of the, victims, because she had just like a minor shoulder injury, and she went from that to being strung out because it's Oxy. And she was phenomenal in that. She was a worker in that. She was a minor in that. So she had a physical role there too. So yeah, I think we're definitely in good hands with Last of Us 2 for sure. Yeah. It's funny because I didn't even think about that. I didn't know who she was when I seen her being cast. So that's fire.
Okay, so now I'm a new fan. Like,
yeah,
because she killed it in this movie and didn't say a word. So she did in the end.
But she's very very soft spoken.
very soft spoken and very like, oh my god, this. I left this movie like, I mean, I left like, is this of the night? I think was everybody's favorite.
I think there's a couple people who like. I think Leon liked When Evil Lurks the most. I think there was somebody who liked Colors Out of Space, but this was the majority vote.
Yeah, this one, yeah, I was like, yeah, Evil Lurks.
Yeah,
you know what scene got me, bro.
Yeah,
and you didn't even prepare me for it, bro.
Not at
Well,
all.
you don't prepare nobody for it, bro. But then that was the one movie I'm like, okay, I'm glad you kept it last, because had it gone before this,
You probably
you'd
would
have been like, yeah, go and get some food. I'd have been like, nah, bro.
Yeah,
Nah. I will never look at, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Nope.
yeah. It was yeah. That was heavy. It wasn't the heaviest. Like again, there's some that'll beat it, but that was a wild flick. But no one would say
Bruh.
that's phenomenal. It's like a perfect, well-rounded horror film, and it's not super like fucked up. It's not gory, but it's not light either.
It's not like
just
at
it's
all.
like perfect balance. It's the Goldilocks of horror films. It's like perfect balance.
Yeah. And the thing is, what you like about, and I want to kind of go back to this film, again, what we like about, and where's it at? I was just, where did I go? Did I pull it up? Do I still have it here? Nah, not that one. Here it is. What I liked about this film was how you explained and how we came to terms with, like, again, we know what the logical solution is. We know what needs to happen, but the premise of the movie was the mistakes that were made out of emotions, and we would make those same mistakes. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's just like we were talking about earlier. It's really easy to just sit there and say
What you would do.
what you would do because you know the answer because you're watching a film and you have all the information at your disposal and you are emotionally exempt from the decisions and the feelings that the characters are going through. Like you didn't just lose your kid. You didn't just watch your friend die. You didn't just watch people do. You didn't just watch somebody who was possessed do evil shit. Like it's really easy to watch from your, play armchair quarterback. You know what I mean? Say, oh, I would have, could have, should have. It's just real easy to do. It's just like watching a football game, saying, oh, I would have ran a different route than that. It's like, all right, well, go do it then. Like this just it's just like you just gotta live with the choices that you made, because think about how many choices that you've not perfectly in your own life. Everybody watching this, everybody who's ever lived their life has zigged when they should have zagged at some point and made the decision that, oh, okay, I probably should have did this, but you weren't watching it from outside of your existence saying, okay, it was the mom and the boy along the road. I'm not gonna know what happened, but that was the scene that
scene.
I got him.
That scene, because we knew what happened when she left the house, but we didn't know what was coming next. And she told him not to stop and not to look.
Yeah.
But the premise of it was they're going to stop, they're going to look. And the whole premise of a horror film is to say it's a horror film. There's no happy endings. If it's a happy ending, then what made it horrific in that moment? You know what I mean? This thing, and now knowing that, bro, the ending was, when I thought about it, I was like, yo, that's so brilliant, because what now?
Yeah.
Like, what now? Like, where do you go from here now? You know what I mean? So, it's a brilliant ending, but it's a tragic ending, because it's like, bro. This movie changed all the rules for a horror film. Yeah, it did. it changed the rules, and but definitely in a way that it was a psychological thing that made you think like, yeah, they're telling you what to do. And it's not, you know what? It's like the reverse effect of an Exorcist film.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reverse effect of a film that you would see with a priest, holy water, and all that other shit. It's a reverse effect of what the logical solution is to go to someone who's encountered this and for them to fix it. But when all that goes horribly wrong, it's like, wow, what I thought was going to happen. Because that's the thing, is like when they go where they're supposed to go and they contact this person, in your mind and in my mind, in which I should have turned around and looked at your face. I don't know why I didn't. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, then this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to get there. But it was so fucking unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's like, well, wait a minute, that ain't happened. Or, oh, wait a minute, they did that. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, bro. The whole
and
time.
a lot of times in an Exorcist film, you have a priest who knows what to do and is responsible for doing it. The whole premise of this film is the person who was supposed to do that didn't make it to do their job, so they were on their own having to follow the set of rules, and they aren't professionals. So instead of like being still, being cool, knowing what to do because that's what they do, they were just normal fucking dudes trying to follow these rules that they just heard while it's their fucking family who's in danger. And so they have to like keep a level head. Oh no, don't do this because that'll be wrong. But that's my fucking, like, it's, think about it, like it's just like Luke being told, hey man, like your friends are in danger, but don't worry about them. You got to finish this training. It's like, nah, we can do this later. I've got to go help them. It's like, you're not listening. But yeah, it's the human reaction. It's like it's really hard to shut off your instincts because somebody you just met is telling you the rules for some supernatural shit that you like can't even wrap your head around because it's so outlandish.
It's not that easy.
It's a lot easier said than done, and like for all you know, this bitch is wrong, and you could have saved, or helped, with your gut instinct, what you thought you should have done. But that's the beauty of the film. It's not fair, right? Nothing that keeps happening is not fair, and there's only so much that they could do to make it fit, make it right, and they're just regular ass people.
P-Rock said, man, till this day, Exorcist OG movie is the only horror movie I can't watch alone in the middle of the night with the lights off.
Exorcist is the GOAT. Exorcist is so fucking scary that the Blu-ray just playing at the home screen is scary as fuck. Just the music from the score on the fucking home screen looping is terrifying.
Bro, Exorcist, the audio in that film was terrifying.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Audio that was done back in the early, like the late 70s and in the 80s, the audio and how sometimes the audio would come in, and I don't know if they did it deliberately that way, that where it was like there was no cohesiveness with audio. Sometimes the muted, like, or even the distortion, and you can hear the distortion in the voice when a priest is talking and she's growling and moaning. It's really distorted and you can hear it, but if they would have did it any other way, it probably wouldn't have came out the way it was supposed to. But the audio was brilliant. But that shit fucked me up, bro. And then Second Brother, when we went to Awesome Con, motherfucker had the nerve to drive us. Had the nerve to take our asses up to that house, bro.
Who did?
Second Brother. He took us to the house. Yeah.
Oh shit.
He took us to the actual house. He drove us to the house, bro. Second Brother, if you listen, I ain't gonna never forgive you for that. But he took us to the house, bro. He drove. We got a chance to see the path, the light at the end, everything. I was like, bro, I'll never do it again. Never, ever. It was crazy. He said, I got traumatized with the back. The back was crawling down. Yeah. Yeah. Did you see Linda Blair, Lael? Where at? He said Linda Blair. bro. This, yeah, man. This, yeah. Everybody out there, listen. You are all cordially invited to Vinny's house next year for Horrorthon. You're gonna see a whole bunch of cars pulling up in your driveway. You be like, wait, hold up, what? They're gonna be in your neighbor's grass. You be like, yo, y'all can't park down there. Nah, y'all can't. You know what I mean? Y'all are all cordially invited to Vinny's house in Horrorthon, and I swear to God, it will be. Look at Cairo. When Evil Lurks is really that. He said, when Evil Lurks is really that scary. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's put it this way. It's traumatizing. It's traumatizing, bro.
Yeah, it's deep.
It is a traumatizing film. I would
don't think of it like Conjuring type jump scares.
Yeah, nah, it's not like that. Yeah. It's Cairo. It's almost because even it's almost as traumatizing as Hereditary. They're almost two traumatizing films, but I think this is worse. This is worse. This shit is worse. It's fucking worse. It is fucking worse. Like, if Toya wasn't with me at the house, I'd have probably been like, yo, can you walk me to my car, bro? like literally, because you remember, bro, like I have to drive. I don't care how short your driveway is, bro, to get out to the middle of the street. You still got to drive down that shit.
Yeah.
I still got to go outside and hear deer. And then on top of that, Vinny has the nerve to have a fucking woodshed outside of his crib. Bro, his house has all the fundamentals of a horror section in that small space around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the houses, you picked that one, bro.
It's practical.
Yo, he said, "Oh wow, yeah, Cairo, yeah, bro. I'll bring my own mess up films. Yeah, Lewis, I'm telling you, bro.
Yo, bring up Justin's.
What Justin say? I just saw a clip and I can't go any further. I told you, bro. I told you. You can't. The fucking movie is crazy.
Yeah.
He said, I gotta rent out a theater one time. Yeah, bro. Gotta rent. We do.
Yeah.
Bro. Horrorthon renting out a theater, but we gotta make it like it's Vinny's crib. Like, it has to feel like it's Vinny's crib. Like, we have to make it homely. If we do some shit like that, oh, yeah. Yo, the experience, it's unlike anything I've ever experienced before in my life. And you would think, here's y'all, here's what y'all need to realize. The fun part is that you go in thinking that you're used to it, but you're really not. I don't think anybody that watches these films at the house are really, they're not used to it. They're never going to be used to it because we all react the same way. After the film goes out, we're like, yo, Vinny, is something wrong, bro? You good? Are you all right, bro? Are you need to talk? I mean, because if there's something going on, you can call me. Like, we all leave the same way. Like, after watching these films, like, and I can only imagine what Amber's like. Like, of course, she ain't gonna say nothing to you, but I wonder how traumatized she really is, bro.
Hers was Dark and Wicked. To this day, that one fucked with her. Like that one, I almost felt bad that I showed her. Like, she was no good, bro. She was no good.
Bro, did you do it like you did me with the roller coaster? Be like, come on, bro, we got one more.
Yo, I put my hand on her shoulder like Miles. It was like, hey.
bro. Wow, man. Wow. What did Justin say? This is scary. I grew up in a haunted ass New Orleans by the cemetery. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Because at Vinny's house, no one can hear you scream.
Yeah.
Wood said Evil Dead inside joke, bro. It's for real. It's for real. The possessed mom has a very unique popcorn bucket.
Yeah, walking taco.
Bruh. Yeah. So Renz, I take it Renz has seen. He did. He's seen that shit.
I was talking with Renz after we mentioned it the other night, and I was impressed. He has a lot of friends that don't get down with the horror flicks, so like he doesn't have a lot of people to like share notes with. And we went back and forth, and he had seen a lot of the ones that I recommended him, but I was able to tell him a bunch that he hadn't seen yet. So
It must be an artist thing, bro.
I think that's what it is.
It's an artist thing. Like y'all motherfuckers, y'all both crazy, bro.
We see the art.
You see the art of it. You do. I mean, and that's the thing. Like anybody who's creative would see the art. It probably takes me a little bit longer to get past certain things.
But that's why you keep coming back, because you see the art in it too. It's just it knocks you out first, and then you have to like,
yeah, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
It fucks you up, but then you come back for more. So I know you see the art in it too.
If I watch this movie, I may never be the same again. Yeah. What Riz said, I work a funeral. What? I work at a funeral. It's normal. Wow, for real?
I never knew that.
Are you for real, Renz? Motherfucker, man. I did not know that.
No.
No wonder.
Yeah.
No wonder. Y'all motherfuckers, man. Yeah. It must be a thing. It definitely must be a thing. But anyway, people, make sure y'all check these films out. Like literally, this is why we gotta do this again. We definitely got to do this again.
Many,
bro.
This is just I do like 3 to 5 every year I've been doing it for over, I don't know, like 10, 15 years. So if anyone wants any recommendations that are similar to this, just DM me, hit me up. There's so many more. Like Leo asked me to pick some to talk about tonight, and it was tough narrowing it down to 4 or 5. We didn't even get into Hagazusa. We'll talk about that one next time. There's so many more. There's tons. There's Platform. There's just so many fucked up, crazy, amazing flicks. Hostel. There's just tons. So feel free to hit me up for more recommendations if you go through these and you still.
Wasn't that movie that one we watched? Wasn't it one year we watched? Wasn't it called Platform or something like that?
Platform. There's a 2 on Netflix now.
So there's a part 2 on there now.
Part 2 that dropped like 3 weeks ago. Yep.
Same
premise. It's a prequel. Yeah, it's a prequel. Yep. Part 2 is.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. It wasn't horrorthon worthy because it's too similar to the first one,
original,
and it doesn't do anything that really like makes it work.
Pushes the needle forward. It makes it.
No, it doesn't. It's kind of like just more of the same. It doesn't do anything to make you feel like it would be worthy to do it at another horrorthon. I'd recommend it. I'd say go watch it, but it was just. I think a big part of why I had it on the first one was because I've never seen a concept or premise like that ever. But after you've seen it, it's not. I don't think it's franchise worthy. You know what I mean?
Word.
Like there's not too many. I mean, I don't think there's too many variations of what could happen. It's pretty much
the same.
More of the same type of shit of just chaos. So, but it's good. It's absolutely good. It's just I wouldn't do it as a horrorthon because it's too similar to the first, but it's just more of the same. And that's, as horror films go, most horror film or sequels are more of the same. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by the next time we do horrorthon, this film will be out. This one right here by Low Key and Second Brother. This is a horror film where they're just basically riding through New Orleans or riding through different towns. Shooting up zombies. So definitely this movie's called Negro Please horror film by with Calvin and Second Brother. So hopefully this will be released by next year. And
Calvin's ready because if he gets winded, not enough cardio, he just pulls out that chair.
Yep.
Takes a break. He got all the tech. He's good. Like he's fine.
He said, what he say? You already? I'll pull up. Straight up. Anyway, man, Thank you guys out there. We'll definitely do this again. Let us know if you want us to do another one and pop in some more movies, man, because definitely it is still Halloween. Halloween ain't here yet. So if y'all want us to do another one, let us know, man. We'll pull up some more films and have a talk and have a conversation. Anybody wants to come in and join us, definitely they can do so. But definitely let us know, man. Vinny, tell them what you got going on, bro.
More Inktober's. Feel free to hit up at Vincent Dunn Art. My IG has my store, Vincent art.storev.com. And if you're in the mood for horror themed art, there's a bunch of horror themed stuff on there, and then just regular, comic book, fantasy, pop culture art on there. And on my IG daily, all month I've been doing Inktober's, and that's where it's just a prompt word per day, and I just come up with a crazy vision of what I would want to draw that day as a social media challenge. But yeah, I got everything on there from like fantasy, Lord of the Rings type shit to Star Wars to Stranger Things, Marvel, DC, you name it, it's on there. Originals available, prints available, all kinds of cool stuff. I have 2 more cons coming up this year. My next one will be in Mannheim, which is like near Lancaster in PA, and then I'll have a big announcement for a con in December by the end of this week. But yeah, just all kinds of art on there, tons of stuff. So Christmas is coming. Come through. Hit me up, grab some prints, and more than happy to hook you up. Just let me know what's up, DM me, and I'll take care of you.
Hell yeah.
And of course, as always, Monday nights, comic book talk with friends, where we go over all the comic book and show, TV, and actual comic book news of that week.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Anyway, man, yeah, thank you guys for coming through. Of course, we got Figure Flex Friday tomorrow night. We got Collectors Lounge, of course, on Sunday. And then, of course, Comic Book Talk with Friends every Monday, 9:45. You got to be there. If you ain't there, then I don't know where else you're going to be. But yes, we got a lot going on, man. But thank you guys for being here. It was a great show. I'm telling you, if y'all look, we're going to put out the invite. And we want all y'all to pull up Vinny's crib and enjoy it, because it is a cinematic thing. Calvin, you got to come, bro. You got to come one time, bro. You got to come. Calvin, you know what? I say that shit, but Calvin to come for real.
Where's Calvin at?
He's in Cali.
He's in Cali?
But he'll come for real.
It's the thing goes for like 6, 7, 8 hours. So it's like,
he'll come for real. Calvin to come
man. It's an experience. I think a lot of people just think, oh, we'll just be watching some horror movies, but the surround sound, the bass, I don't think most people. I talk about the surround sound, the bass, and they're like, oh, okay, cool, because most people think
they got to hear it up close.
You feel someone
it.
knocking on the door, like they're knocking on your fucking actual door. It just makes it a very immersive experience that makes the whole night just more fun. It's always fun watching people's reaction to when the bass, like when people react to the bass and the surround sound. It just makes my day, because it's just like, all right, cool. That's part of the fun of Horrorthon, man. Just putting people on to shit I'm into and shit I like, and watching how they react to it, and that's part of the fun. So I love this time of year. I love all the fucking horror themed stuff. It's tons of stuff going on with the art and films, and it's a whole subgenre with tons of creativity, and it's controlled fear. You can get off and just it'd be over with. So it's definitely one of my best times of the year. So I love doing it. So it was cool to come chat up about it for a little bit and put people onto some gems, because that's the whole point, put people onto some cool shit that they might not even know exists.
And you heard it here first. So again, if y'all looking for it, you came to the right place, man. So beyond that, man, thank y'all coming. And if y'all want to see us do it again, let us know. We'll pop up some more movies, have another discussion. We'll do it up. Let's go. Talk to you later on, man. Peace.